Hello and welcome to the Echo Edge Railway. Today's video is just me reposting a video from my old channel of how I fixed this Lima class J50, which I have told you in the introduction video to my channel. My sister is named Tiny Timber. Hello, it's me T-raptor, and today I'm going to show you how I restored this Lima class J50. This is the first loco I've ever restored from non-running, so I couldn't film while I was repairing it, but I'm going to take the body and the running board off and show you how I repaired it for if you're trying to do a similar thing. There is a few parts missing off of the body of the locomotive, but I'm going to try and get new ones of those. The two main ones of those parts are the coal load and the funnel. But like I said, I'm trying to get new ones, so I'll probably do that in another video. So, to start restoring this loco, what you're going to want to do, turn the loco upside down, and unscrew this front screw here, which is holding on both the running board and the body, but you've still got the other three screws, which will keep the running board on. Probably want to use a flathead screwdriver for this, but if you couldn't have anything else that works better, use that instead. Can't get the screw out. There we go. So now you're going to want to unpin the front of the chassis, and at the back there's a little thing that just pokes out the back of the body. Take that out, and then you get to here. Once you get to here, you want to take this big weight off, and then I'll show you what to do next. Right, so now you probably want to have a look at the gear chain, which is here. I don't know if you can see that because this tripod's a bit hard to use. So the gear chain here, you want to take off this spring clip, which I'm not actually going to do while filming this because it's quite hard to get back on when you finish, but you do need to take that off. I'd recommend using some isopropanol to clean these two gears, and then you want to leave them off for a bit, and then next what you need to do is, let me just get this thingy. I'm just going to turn this around so that you guys can see better. Then you're going to want to take off the rest of the screws. So I'm trying to see with tripod and sort out a loco at the same time. Hopefully I won't have to use this tripod for all videos because I've put a new one on my Christmas list. But anyway, once we've got these screws out, I'll show you what to do next. Right, so once we've got that off, we're going to want to take out this middle set of wheels because those are just sprung. And then lift off these wheels and take out this spring. And then what you can do is turn it over, take out these two screws, which I'm not actually going to do today because it is quite hard to put on. Make sure to put it on not upside down when you put it back together, and then in there there'll be the motor brushes and springs. Make sure not to lose those. And then what you'll want to look for is a black ring around the motor. Get some isopropanol and scrub that with a cotton bud, like this one. This is actually the one I used, which is why it's so black. And that will just take all the carbon that's come off the motor brushes off. And then you can, if all of the carbon's completely come off, you probably need to replace them. But if there's still a bit on, you can just put it back together. And then what you want to do to clean these wheels with, again, isopropanol. You also want to clean this set. You don't necessarily need to clean these back ones because they don't have any pickups. They're just the drive wheels, but you can clean them if you want to. I did. And then after that, we need to get these wheels back on. To do this, just to make it easier, I forgot to do this the first time, just slide it into the body, just to make it a bit easier to stand in the holder. And then what I'm going to do is find the spring, put it back in, get these wheels in, making sure that the pickups are under the wheel rims. Then this is the bit where it may get fiddly. You have to manoeuvre in this front set of wheels and get the pickups under the wheel rims, otherwise you won't be picking up any power. It'll be pointless. You also have to get it on top of the spring at the same time, which can be very fiddly. Why won't that stay? It's definitely the fiddliest part of the whole thing, these pickups. Right, now that that's back on, we want to put this running board back on, making sure that the small screw is at the back, because that makes sure that the screw won't just go straight through the loco's body and into the motor. Let me just try and line this up a sec. Although screws took a while to get back in, I'd recommend starting with this screw first, as then it will stop the wheels springing back out. Oh yeah, and also before you take off, you need to take off the wheels to be able to get into the motor. However, these ones might not come off very easily. So you probably want to lie it like that with the wheels just spread out sideways, because there's a pin for some reason that stops these coming off. But once you've put the motor back on, you need to start, and you've cleaned everything, you need to start lubricating it. So what you need to do is, I probably should have shown you this when I had the running board off, but lubricate the axles of all the wheels. Only a small bit. You only need little stick thingy like this, cocktail stick, and you just dab it on from the underside of the loco, obviously. And what I used is this, don't know if you can see that. What I used is this, some modelling oil, but you can use whatever modelling oil that you want to use. And then you also need to have a look at your gears and do this before you put them back on. I never took these off. Then you want to get a bit of grease like this. Probably, don't know what this is, silicone grease. And then you get some on the end of the cocktail stick. Just dab it onto every other cog, and then as you run it in, it'll move around. You want to do it on every cog, so that means here, here, and the one attached to the wheel. And then what you want to do is put the weight back on and give it a test run. The reason you need to put the weight on is because the sprung wheels will spring each other off the track if you don't have it. But now before you put the body back on, you need to do a test run. As you can see here, this will not run on digital as it's an old loco, so I've just got my analog controller. This is a standard Bachmann one. It comes in most of their starter sets, plugged into a wall. I'm doing this in the kitchen so you can see the bread bin and the slow cooker and the air fryer. But anyway, Now we want to apply some power and check if it runs before we put the body back on, and if it doesn't, we want to see what the problem is. So apply some power. That's backwards, didn't want to do that. Change it to forwards. And as you can see, it's now running nicely. It's making a bit of a strange sound. Let me just see if I can figure out why. There was a wire trailing on the wheel. This is why we always check. That's backwards again. Let me just put that back on again. Right, so I'd say that's running pretty nicely, considering when I started repairing it, though, it was not running at all. Now we want to put the body back on the loco. So now we're back over at the tray, and we're going to take the body, hook it back onto the loco. I forgot to say about the gears, but what you want to do, I'll just show you before I put that back on, is put the gears back on the things, make sure they're all connected, push that spring clip back on. So I forgot to say about that, but I have now said about it. So put the pin in at the back. It's a bit fiddly. Turn it upside down, make sure the pin's in at the front. Get your really long screw that holds on everything. Put it through the running board. This is a little bit fiddly. Got the body on. We want to go back over to our piece of track and test the power. As you can see, that's still running nicely, which means the repair is now finished. You can now run this on your main layer or on a loop of track. I'd recommend running it around in a circle for a bit to get it running. I wouldn't recommend just doing what I'm doing at the minute, which is keep knocking it off the track and just running it backwards and forwards. You definitely need to put it on a loop. But for now, that's the end of the video. So bye, and please subscribe.